Yo, burning it up weekly. We made a podcast episode 195. Caesar, go ahead.
195.
Okay, you know what? We won't, because I was like, dang, maybe we'll get 200 on the 4-year anniversary, but that's in 2 months, so we won't. What?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll wait.
Because it's 5 episodes until the 2-year anniversary. Like, it's not gonna work out unless we just don't do them official episodes in between then, and just like let 200 be on the anniversary, which I'm down for. Episode 195. Caesar's scrolling through things to put in his background. Although I was feeling the apex.
Even though it was making you woozy.
I mean, I was joking. But episode 195, Caesar is still recovering from an edible from last Saturday. And we are here for the get down per usual. Episode 195. Got a lot to talk about today. I want to say this. Okay, actually, let me say what we're going to talk about, then I'm going to say this. We're going to talk about Stop Asian Hate. We're going to talk about Portugal standing up against racism, Portugal League.
About time.
Huh?
What?
Would you say finally? What'd you say?
Yeah, I said about time.
Oh, geez. We might get into Neymar's contract extension, if it's cap or not. And also maybe talk about Xabi Alonso. I guess he was supposed to go coach Mönchengladbach, but then they said he's not. I don't know. Just so you know, Caesar is be killing it with Rampart, as you can see if you're looking on YouTube. Move your head. Oh, it's too late. Anyway, I just want to say this before this is starting the episode, and I want to say this before we kind of get into it. Because, nobody's going to be your biggest cheerleader but yourself. I feel like we made a podcast. We started May 2017. There were soccer podcasts before us, but there's been a lot that's came out after us. A lot. Okay? I feel like when we came out, like we were talking about stuff that people talk about now like it's new. And it's kind of like, it's weird because obviously we don't have a big platform or some big voice or something like that. But it's kind of like, yo, dog, like, that's old, man. Huh?
We're the trendsetters.
Yeah, and it's just like sometimes it's like, yo, dang, like we talked about that so long ago. Like I don't even like. I gotta go find stuff, and I'm like scrolling, and I'm like, I don't even remember. Like, when was what? Like literally, it's like, what year was that? Like. I gotta be like, what year? We went through a whole entire 2018, a whole entire 2019, and a whole entire 2020. Half of 2017. So some of this stuff be like, some of the stuff when it comes to like the U.S. women's national team, I'm like, yo, damn, like we talked about that like episode 8, right?
Yeah, I mean, literally, like we had like a picture of taking a knee way back then. And that was even before all the protest stuff happened. We had equal pay combos way back then. We had it's like, where y'all been at, honestly? Like
it's just like sometimes it's like, man, like I feel like at some point, like it'll just be like, like reposting stuff from so long ago, and also I feel that way about this first topic in a sense. We had an horrific mass shooting terrorism act that happened in Atlanta, Georgia, just a few days ago. A man went and shot and killed, I think it was 6 Asian women, and there were 2 other people that got killed. Apologies, I don't have the names in front of me. But if you want to hear more about that, go follow Power Report and listen to the latest Power Report episode. It can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Power Report hosted by Dan from the internet, and also co-hosted by yours truly and the Platinum Blonde Caesar and others. But there's been a lot in the media about like this hashtag is going Stop Asian Hate. And, you know, obviously this is a football podcast. And I was like, when I was seeing it going on, I was like, damn, like, I remember when we talked about Son being racially abused and it was like Son from Tottenham. And I was like, when was that? I was like, damn, when was that? I'm like, I have no idea. So I literally had to go. The only thing I remembered was the picture that we put on for that episode. We put a picture of Park Ji-sung from Manchester United. Caesar's distracted. It's okay though. I'm gonna keep going. Don't ever. Caesar, you over here watching your highlights.
You're stupid. Let's go. You sound like you're watching them.
I can't really see it like that well, but I'm like, if he's not caustic, I don't care. Yeah, so I had to like go scroll. I also Googled. I was like, racism against Son. I'm like, when did that happen? And there was like 3 different times that came up. I'm like, damn, I don't know which one it was. And then I was like, oh yeah, I remember we put that picture of Park in front of the for the episode. So I'm just like scrolling on Spotify and I'm like, oh yeah, here it is. We talked about that at episode 90, which was January 17th, 2019. So that's 2 years ago, 2+ years ago. I remember when it happened, it was talked about in print. I didn't hear anybody talking about it. But Caesar, you probably forgot about this. Do you remember the song that when we talked on this episode, we were talking about racism against East Asian players. And I told you the song that they used to sing for Park at Manchester United. Do you remember?
I totally forgot it. Thank God. I don't keep that kind of disgusting stuff in my brain.
Caesar, not only, and this is something I found out today. Not only did they sing this song for Park Ji-sung at Manchester United, who was, you know, a great player for them, played there for like, I think 7 years or something like that. And you talked about how he was such a baller. I actually listened to it online. Like this song, you can listen to it online. Like when I looked it up, I was like, there's a play button, and the song is actually on Spotify. But for some reason, it like doesn't come up. But there's like a Manchester United fan songs, and like some of them don't come up, but like it's on there, but you can't click it.
There's unlisted.
Something like that. This is the Asian hate right here in football. Okay, this is the song. I'm gonna say it. Park, park, wherever you may be. You eat dogs in your own country. It would be worse. You could be a scouse eating rats in a council house. Like, we're talking about Asian hate, and I don't know if people really understand like how much of that exists in football. But this is the song that they used to sing for Park Ji-sung. Praise. This is for him at Manchester United. And you know what happened actually when I was like doing a little research? Apparently like he said like he doesn't mind and it's okay. And last year he was trying to be part of some like anti-racism campaign, and people in South Korea was like, nah, dog, because you said it was okay when they used to sing that song.
Damn, they're gangster. That's kind of G'd up. Who really holds people accountable like that? They really do it different out there. They're like, nah, son, we ain't forget you was out here singing dogs with them.
Exactly.
Damn, that's kind of cool.
But you know what's funny? Because like the thing about it is that he was playing there at Manchester United, and they were racist as hell singing this song, and he probably felt like I can't say anything. He probably felt like because he's Korean, like he doesn't have enough standing in society to speak out against that. And that's like the depths of racism right there, where somebody feels like I can't stand up for myself.
Yeah.
I can't say anything. They won't they won't accept me if I don't let them racially abuse me.
Yeah.
And that sentiment is what ends up having people commit heinous crimes like what happened in Atlanta.
Yeah, because his mindset is like, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to upset them, and I guess maybe it's not a big deal. You have to like convince yourself that what's happening to you is not personal. It's not racist. It's just like that's just how they're like communicating or something. That's sad because no one should just have to take racism or whatever just because like either it's not supposed to bother you or because like it's just a part of the game or they're trying to do it for you. Like they could be doing other chants in support of somebody, but that doesn't mean it's not racist. Like because like that's really bad. Like that's honestly just really bad. I don't even, it's so bad that it doesn't even warrant being broken down because it's just like stupid. Like I don't know. I mean, Bam was down for them to boo Monkey Chant, so it's all good.
Okay, so I figured that you would bring that up because you was going all over the place. Now, let me just make this clear because Caesar is Cap. I said that I wouldn't react. No, I'm not saying I wouldn't react. I'm saying that I wouldn't take it personal if somebody was doing monkey chants at me.
Over there, okay.
I wouldn't take it personal if somebody's making monkey chants at me, but I'm not saying it's okay. And the people that do get upset by that, they have the total right to because there's no room for racism in
Okay,
football.
we accept that. Thank you.
But kind of going back, like someone like Park Ji Sung, he probably felt like I can't speak out because of his status in society as a Korean person, feeling like he's a minority and like, the numbers are against him or whatever. Like he's devaluing himself. And that leads to when you devalue yourself, somebody's going to end up devaluing you and having the like they don't feel like they're doing something as heinous when they target you. And obviously, these two things aren't necessarily connected, but the sentiment is the same. Like racism is a dehumanization and it leads to people dehumanizing themselves. And when you do that, somebody's going to also dehumanize you and they won't feel the same when they commit crimes against you, you know? Um, and I don't know, like to be fair, I don't follow a whole lot of like different football accounts and stuff like that. But like, I don't know if this was something that was talked about much when people are doing the whole Stop Asian Hate and campaign kind of hashtags. I don't know if they really were talking about how it goes down in football as well, because it absolutely does. All these different. When I was looking at this article, Ki Sung Young talked about it. Obviously, Son from Tottenham talked about it happening many times to him. So it's something that's happened, and this is just EPL. I don't know about the other leagues, but it's something that's happened. That's like a specific racism targeted at Asian players that doesn't get as much hype, obviously, but it should.
I agree. I think that I'm fully for the Stop Asian Hate campaign, the campaign to stop this. I think that it's ridiculous that we should even ask for like equality and respect for each other's cultures, but sadly that's the world we live in. And just know that me and We Made It podcast and them. I mean, I think I speak to have but Stop Asian Hate. Honestly,
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that wasn't the first episode we talked about it, but I can't remember Like I'm sure it wasn't the first time we ended up talking about, because I feel like there was some other time when Son was talking about some racism against him.
Yeah.
Um, but maybe it was the first time. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was 2 years. That was 26 months ago.
Yeah.
And like obviously with COVID happening, like it's something that's been exacerbated. Like the Asian community, especially here in America, has been targeted in ways that's like really heinous. And I'm sure it's not just happening here. I'm sure it's happening in other places too. Um,
I think targeting people, especially when you hear about the murders happening recently and stuff like that, and the increase in that targeting people based on their race is just disgusting. And I really hope all the measures are being taken in order to stop this. I tweeted out, stop Asian hate or something like that, and I actually had someone respond to my thing and was like basically saying like in a summary like why just that? Like why not? Kind of like an all lives matter kind of thing. And this person like their like kid is like half Asian. I'm like, okay, interesting. So I think that there's still a lot of ignorance behind a lot of this, and if you feel like Stop Asian Hate is isolating you from racism in your culture, that's more of like a self-esteem issue you have. That's more of like a lack of knowledge you have on what's going on in the world. Just because one act is happening towards movement, just because the movement's happening towards one thing doesn't mean that everybody else doesn't matter. I mean, think about it. When the civil rights movement was happening, do you think no one else no other issues in the world didn't matter? No, of course not. But just like with getting a task done at work, you don't get seven things done at once. You do one thing at a time. You build, you build, you build. It's a process. I don't know why all of a sudden people think that that doesn't exist. Like these normal things that we do in life are don't apply to even movements that we're doing when it comes to people's rights, cultures, and race. Like that all applies too. We don't just tackle everything all at once. We got to tackle one thing at a time. Focus on one thing because that starts to build. That builds, and I think that to be all the way fair. I mean, this is coming from a not well researched perspective. I think that there has been some significant impact in terms of the younger generations on how this stuff is affecting. I mean, they talk about the trends and stuff like that. They've had a lot of trends going towards more like racial equality and stuff like that. So I think that there's at least some kind of significance happen, and if one person's influenced by it, then that's already a step towards a positive direction.
Absolutely. I want to also talk about. I mean, I wanted. Okay, that attack that happened in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
I do think it was a targeted attack against Asian women, but I also want to emphasize the women part because I do feel like it was another instance of the violence of incel culture,
Mm-hmm.
and like I feel like we should like almost have a whole special episode about this, about incel culture in soccer, because the shit is just bananas.
It's pretty wild, especially like I
Oh,
think it'd be a good time to do that considering what's going on with the U.S. Women's National Team and stuff like that too. It'd be great to just kind of get into that.
well, as an introduction, I
Yeah.
just want to like these responses to this tweet. So obviously, Megan Rapinoe was talking today. I think she was in Washington. Yeah, she was at the White House. And beIN Sports tweeted a quote from her saying that this is Megan Rapinoe saying, "I've been devalued, I've been disrespected and dismissed because I'm a woman, and I've been told that I don't deserve any more than less because I'm a woman." Um, okay, I feel like maybe that's misquoted. I don't know, but I just want to read these responses.
Is this
Um,
on beIN Sports account?
I'm sorry.
This is on beIN Sports account.
Yeah, Twitter.
Okay.
I want to read these responses to this tweet. Okay. Um, this might be the most like tame one. Someone said equal pay in women's sports can never be achieved if people don't watch the games. It's really not that complicated. Serena makes a lot of money because people watch a lot of her games. Other sports need to find a way to get viewership up. Interestingly, enough women don't watch women's sports. Somebody else says complete BS. Somebody else says It has nothing to do with you being a woman. That is in your delusional head. Sports is a business, and your sport you play just does not generate enough. That's why you lost in court. Someone else said, then why does she take every means possible to look like a man? Short hair, dress shirt, navy blazer. She only has been disrespected because of her kneeling for our national anthem. She has all her freedoms because of this. Ask gays in the Middle East how things are.
Whoa! Wait, dude, hold on.
Someone else says,
That guy got turned up real fast.
I think a lot of people don't watch women's soccer cup and the intensity is not the same in men's soccer. And women retire at 30 to 32, but men go to 40.
Men go to 40? Okay.
Someone else says, she must be really fucking stupid to think that there can be equal pay. And someone else says, how much do the FC Dallas U15 players get paid?
Oh, because they beat the women?
Now, this is on BN. I'm sure like Goal gets like 1 million responses, so I'm sure those are insane.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna get into that right now.
Oh my God.
So maybe like we'll do a special episode. I'll do like a lot of research about like incel culture and soccer fans because it's insane.
I'm gonna clip this part on the YouTube.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna clip this part that you just read off. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean that's like nothing too. Like Caesar, you already know. Like it's insane. Whenever there's something about a woman, like a Rapinoe or any women's soccer player or Hope Solo, it's nuts. Like it's insane. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like we're gonna be like the only people that ever talked about this.
Pretty much. I'd be surprised if someone else did talk about it. I'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, because like incel culture in itself is like it's one of the biggest problems I feel like we're facing as a society.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like somebody that's gonna go like murder women. I'm talking about like just like the cultural influences of like what incelism is about. That is easy to seep into men, very easy, and it's prevalent out here. And if you see somebody with a Basque flag in his background, I'm just joking. But yeah, maybe we'll do like a special episode, and I'll do a lot of research, and we'll read some responses to tweets and Facebook posts and stuff like that.
I'll be down for that. Maybe one of us could tackle one area that we could tackle, the other one we could tackle like a different outlet where the answers are like different social media.
Oh, okay.
Like you look at the Twitter responses, and I'll go look at Facebook responses.
Okay. I thought you were about to say something wild. I don't know.
No, I'm
not. Okay, so stop Asian hate. Look, don't be making them jokes if you mean them.
What?
Right?
That's your big fucking motto? What the hell? Make those jokes if you mean them? All right. I mean, how about just don't make
How about
them,
what? How about what?
Don't make them at all.
Oh, see, I was setting you up to make you be a hypocrite.
Gaslight me. All right, I'm down.
Also, speaking on the topic of racism, the Portugal Football League, Liga NOS, they last weekend they participated in the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. I'm going to read this article. It's from the league, their league's website. All of the, well, let me just read this part. It's saying professional football calls for the raising of awareness on the importance of respecting the race, ethnicity, and religion of every human being. Each team had, instead of their names on the back, it said "No to Racism" in Portuguese. Racismo now. No.
Racism now?
N-A with the N-Y and then
No.
Racismo now.
Racismo não.
Well, they say the R in Portugal, okay? Uh,
You don't even know what context, but go off.
first of all, well, I know that they say the R.
They do.
Um, but every single player had that slogan on the back of their jersey instead of their names, similar to when EPL did Black Lives Matter on the back of their shirts and BN didn't talk about it. Um,
I remember those guys.
the article goes on to say the same inscription is placed on the captains and the managers' armbands, as well as on the referees' kits.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's not all. The phrase is repeated everywhere. I guess it was on the corner flags and on the LED stripes.
Yeah.
And it's something that they, something that they felt was important. And not to obviously we're not saying like this is a thing that ends racism in sports, but like it's not. It's a good. I like those things where like a league takes a stand like that. I feel like it's a great initiative, and I feel like we haven't really seen much from La Liga or Liga, honestly, or Italy, which I don't really expect, but like Italy's like the kind of the more notorious racism league.
Him in Russia.
We didn't forget.
You didn't forget.
um,
It kind of reminds me of like we did that long time ago episode where we talked about Paul Pogba being part of the no racism campaign before everything started getting buck wild. Remember that we talked about it was like Zlatan, Pogba, and all that, and we talked about like how um, like propaganda, how much is propaganda like or advertising? If that's I don't know if I'm using the right word, but like does that truly impact or make a difference? And I think I made the argument the point at that time saying like I mean like how many years have we been seeing the no racism stuff? I don't really know. I don't really think it does much. I think people kind of ignore that kind of stuff. I think a lot, but it doesn't mean that it's something that you should not do anymore just because of that. That's not the focus. I don't think of it. Neither is this like just because yeah maybe like maybe all the people that watch Domino's Pizza, the Portugal league or whatever aren't gonna be it's just called Domino's this season, right? Something like that, or Uber or whatever. I don't know what they're called. Liga Nos, sorry, not nitrous oxide. um they maybe not everybody's being all of a sudden going, oh wow, you know what, they're right, no racism. Like maybe that's not really what's happening on a large scale, but you never know. Sometimes words can have a bigger impact on people than you can imagine. Sometimes things can a young kid, a lot of really young kids watch the sport, and maybe they just read a sign and they just repeat it themselves. No racismo. Yeah, okay, and they just kind of it just sits with them. We don't know, and it's not up to people I think to criticize that effort. It's at least making an effort, right? Because leagues like Italy and Spain just will do their kneel or whatever for one match and it's over. But I can applaud the Portuguese for at least doing a real like launch all the way out. It's kind of like showing love to MLS when they had like the whole kits lined up, and they did the whole video. They did the standing, the conversations, like that kind of stuff. No matter how much of an impact it made an impact to me because I appreciated seeing stuff like that being put forward.
Yeah, and it just like whether it impacts individuals or not, like the league, the organization is taking a stance and they're choosing a side. You know what I mean? Like, so if you do have, you know, if you got some people that's some hella racist, maybe they'll be like, well, you know what? Since they're doing this, I'm not gonna be going to those games anymore. And good riddance.
Mhm.
Um, but I just also wanted to mention, I'm sure you remember last year. When Marega for Porto was racially abused. Where was that at?
I remember that.
Yeah, at Guimaraes, and he walked off the pitch, and he was really upset. He was like, he said to the racist idiots in the stands, "Go f yourselves." He said that because he was given a yellow card for leaving the pitch, and he said to the referees, like, "Y'all are an embarrassment."
I mean, they
But
were.
but after the match, the Portuguese league came out and said that Liga Portugal does not agree and never will with acts of racism, xenophobia, or intolerance that jeopardize the dignity of footballers or any human beings. And they said that we will do everything to ensure that this episode and all other racist incidents do not go unpunished, etc. And I also think that the Portuguese prime minister came out and said something too.
Yeah.
Um, right? Didn't he? You remember that?
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like he even came out and said something because it was kind of a big deal. But yeah, and we talked about that on episode 145. That was February 20th, 2020, a month before lockdown. Uh,
Never gonna forget 2020. Tell you that much.
um, I don't know who's listening right now, but whatever. Do you see? You remember last year, Karen's birthday? When y'all went, like y'all like hung out that time, and I was like scared to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Caesar don't remember.
I do. I just don't want to tell when that time period was. I think we're ready to big snitch it. I even gave my second shot.
Caesar, stop. Whatever. You're half vaccinated. You're good, dog.
I'm not there yet. I know my clearance.
You were irresponsible then. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Actually, I wanted to kind of put together a COVID episode, kind of, like putting the episodes where we talked about COVID before lockdown, and then like when we came back and we were like talking about it after.
Yeah, talking about how I thought it was gonna be over in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I was like, nah.
I'm optimistic, damn it. I mean, I'm a believer.
I went and listened to the clips. I never like actually started to put the episode together, but it was kind of funny. Like it was just like interesting to hear. Like, one week was like, damn, I'm kind of going. It started out with Dele Alli being racist to the Asian guy.
Yeah,
actually,
I didn't forget about that.
Hell, yeah, but it started off with him, and we're like, it's really it's bad in China right now, COVID, whatever. Then it was like Italy, then it was like Spain, and then it was like no fans in the stands, and then it was like boom.
Then it was shut down. We're like, oh my god.
Then it was like we're on the episode, and then Dan told us that they canceled NBA season, and it was like
we're like, yo, I never forget watching the video of like that Jazz game or whatever, where they're just like literally about to do tip off and they run off and get everybody out of the building. I was like, damn. Wait till you see Last Chance, you two. Go ahead.
And it was like suspended indefinitely. They're like, indefinitely. You know what I mean? That might just be, might be a couple weeks.
Like an ACL tear. Damn, it's just forever.
This ain't an ankle sprain, man.
This ain't a Mbappe ankle sprain. It's a whole ACL.
Remember we named that episode Titanium Ankle?
Yeah. How the hell did he get back so fast? Someone should have drug tested him. The hell? Meanwhile, Bam still taking 8 months to hop back here. His Mbappe back in no time.
Trying to play Saturday?
He ain't playing Saturday.
I've been kicking that ball. Anyway, really quick also, they're talking again about Neymar getting ready to extend his contract with PSG. They're saying that he's going to extend it to 2026.
Holy Jesus.
Now, honestly, I was kind of like, dog, like this happened a couple months ago. Like they were saying a couple months ago he was about to extend his contract. And then like 3 other players extended their contract before he did. Di Maria came out and extended his. Juan Bernat. I'm like, are y'all lying? But it was funny because I seen this article with Eric Abidal. And he was saying that when he was, what was his, he was director of football at Barcelona before he got fired after 8-2. He said that he was getting ready to try to bring in Neymar. He said that he was about to bring Neymar back, but the club got Griezmann instead. He said the president too wanted Griezmann. So I feel like Bartomeu was. We've been looking forever to see who was to blame for bringing Griezmann in there, and it was Bartomeu.
Abidal, appreciate it, big dog. Our site is now on Bartomeu. We're like, what idiot would do this?
But I was reading the article and I was like giving him credit. But then this fool was talking about, we also wanted to bring in the best coach that we could at the time, and I wanted to bring in Pochettino. I was like, I was riding with you, dog.
I'm done.
Yeah. I was like, dog, I was riding with you.
Until you said that.
Yeah, and I was like, and I remember when you said that Messi didn't want to visit you or didn't want no videos when you had cancer. I remember you said that. I'm like, damn, dog, now I got to distrust your judgment.
Dude, Messi almost said, "Don't let your grows get away from me."
Oh, come on. I feel like Messi's racist on the low.
I mean, he's allowed to go to a press conference with sandals on, so.
But yeah, I was. He was saying that he was gonna bring in Neymar, and I was like, okay, dog. Like, I feel like you're cap, but we'll
I
see.
feel like they were pretty close that time. It felt like they were pretty close.
It's interesting. Well, Neymar admitted he did want to go, but it'll be interesting to see because they pump fake last time about Neymar signing that contract, and now they're like, even now, like I seen it a couple of days ago, and like now I'm not seeing it again.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't really want to blame PSG as much as I want to, or like maybe I want to blame his dad, Neymar's dad. His Neymar's dad's kind of a goon out here about these things. So I feel like a lot of it is how agents sometimes put things out to pressure renegotiation clauses, up value, buyout clauses, stuff like that. So maybe his dad is trying to rework something because he's going to lobby to leave. Because I remember when he was going to do the Barcelona thing, they gave him like a fat renegotiation. So that could be what's going on. He saw everybody getting paychecks. He's like, all right, well, it's our turn now because, Neymar actually got to play a tournament last season. So we got to cash out now. He actually got to play Champions League last time without getting hurt.
Oh.
No, so I don't know. I think it's at this point, I'm going to keep it real, man. Neymar's about to hit, I think he just turned 29, I think, right? He's a year younger than me. If I'm PSG, I'm not really doing that personally.
Not re-signing him?
I'm not re-signing him. Is his contract in this season?
I think it's next season, but I'm not 100%. I think it might be.
I mean, this is my question for you, Manager Bim. For PSG's future, do you see more value in spending money to re-sign Neymar to up his value? So if someone buys him, you get more money, or do you save that money and just let it ride?
Okay, well,
let me revisit it next year.
Let me just say this off top. Manager Bam is like the biggest shark.
Yeah, I know. You're definitely Mark Cuban has nothing on you. Shark Tank, they don't even know what they're dealing with.
Man, like, don't let me be in them offices. Although
you don't get played out like Abadal, right?
I'm gonna be slapping the coach. Like, you know what? I got this. Get out of here. I'm looking down. I'm looking down. Y'all are playing on 30-yard fields. Get out of here.
Looking over the little the thing. Hey, open it up. That's okay. It. We're going to the stadium. Let's go. Everybody get in the truck. We're just gonna play in the stadium. I'm over it.
Seriously. Okay. If I'm PSG, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it'd be smart for them to extend Neymar and to try to keep him there. Because Neymar is such a good player. He's such of like, I mean, and good is an understatement. Like on the pitch, like he's second to none, obviously. So like that's like not even a question. But because these reasons for sure, he's Brazilian. He's a big name player. He's young enough. He's going to play in the next World Cup if he doesn't get injured. Maybe the World Cup after that, or at least like a couple Copa Americas. But the thing that's the most important in that is that because of being Neymar and because being Brazilian. Why? It makes PSG like more prestigious to have like the biggest Brazilian player committing to your team. I think it makes PSG look like more legitimate, honestly. If he was from Uruguay or even, I mean, from any other country, and he's as good as he is, like that's cute. But because he's Brazilian, I feel like it's even more status. Like he is the best Brazilian player in the world. He can play wherever he wants. Like any team wants him, he can go anywhere. And if he's committing to your team, that makes you look more legit, you know? So I would keep him. What do you think?
I think the same thing. I mean, it's not like a joke when we say him. And I think it's very kind of narrow-minded to think that, Neymar is not this and this. I mean, he's literally a mega star. There's multiple things talking about him being one of the top most 100 famous athletes in the world, top 5, 300 million followers on social media. That he's one of the most literally across international, like one of the most recognizable names. Like he made the name Neymar a thing. Like literally, like people in America recognize this name. But that the Neymar guy, right? So yeah, there's legends in Brazil in the past, but I think there's been few in Brazil's history that have been as popular as Neymar. It's from the beginning to now. So I think that the smart thing would be re-sign him. PSG, in my opinion, loses a lot of its like lust and like allure. Sorry, they lose lust of their allure. Whoa. If they lose Neymar, even if you keep Mbappe, I mean that's great. Like that's great, but that's also like that's a that's a player in your country already. That's a countryman. It's something sexy about like having a player that's a star from another country
From
playing on your
Brazil.
team,
From
especially
Brazil.
on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. That's kind of crazy. We don't see that often. There's only one other star over there. That's Messi. That's on the other side of the world. So that's kind of crazy to have that.
And even if he was from Argentina, like that, like Brazil is the football country. Like
It,
Brazil, it's all about Brazil. You got the biggest Brazilian star on your team for another contract. Like that's like
as
you're
big
so
as Messi is, imagine if he was Brazilian. It'd be insane.
exactly.
It'd be ridiculous. I mean, he's already ridiculous, but it would be that. Like it would just be that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think like for PSG, I mean, yeah, Mbappe. Like even if you rate Mbappe above Neymar, Mbappe's never going to reach the heights of Neymar. He's
No.
not. Like
Mbappe is a star. He's a great player, young as hell, crazy. I'm crazy upside and knock on wood. He has a very healthy and successful career. But it's just different when you're from one of the largest countries in the world. You're from the largest football country in the world, and you're the star from there, right? Like it doesn't matter if he wins or not. He's literally a star. Like he's not gonna. I mean, look at the number of caps he has at 30. Look at the goal. It's ridiculous. Since he was 19. I mean, when they had the South Africa World Cup, people were literally protesting outside the CBF headquarters that Neymar didn't get called up. Think about that. He was 17. He had his like first senior cap that year, and they were like, "This is ridiculous." What? Like that. So that just kind of tells you what it is. It's not a joke. And then going back to the point, yeah, I think PSG needs to resign him. I think that you need to have marketability over there. Think about it. No matter what you say, PSG was always cute, but none of that Jordan brand, all that crossover stuff wasn't there before Neymar pulled up. So, and yeah, Neymar's not part of Jordan and Nike anymore. So a lot of stars are out of Nike. I think they're doing some money stuff, but you still have that brand there. You still have a lot of like coolness to it. The social media page is very fresh and young, and you have a cool vibe over there. I think that you need to keep him because PSG, if they want to move forward and being like a perennial, like historic club, you need to have historic players that stay too. You don't need to be a journey club. You don't want to turn into that because that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to start. Neymar leaves. You're going to have to start outbidding people to get players that are at some lucky cusp or towards the end. If you have Neymar and keep now and you have Mbappe and stuff like that, there's an allure still going there. There's an allure to it.
yeah, people are gonna. I mean, and who knows how they're gonna do in Champions League? They're playing
Yeah.
Bayern Munich. You're allowed to lose to Bayern, but yeah, when you got Neymar or Mbappe or just Neymar, players want to go play with Neymar.
Yeah.
I don't know if players want to go play with Mbappe. I don't know,
I mean,
but
no, I mean, what player? Like,
yeah,
you're obviously always trying to attract a striker. So why would you want to be play next to Mbappe if you're a striker? Not really, right? Like,
yeah, like
he's kind of like the striker.
yeah,
So it's like pointless for me to go over there. I'm trying to be the striker. I don't want to go play with the striker if
well,
I'm the striker. You know what I mean?
well, also players, especially players love to be like around, like they like to clout chase too. So
They
like
do.
Neymar is the big star. Like you get around Neymar, like you go into the parties.
And and like I said, Mbappe's a star, but Neymar's a bigger star because he's been a villain before. Like he's been disrespected, he's been hated. He is hated by many people too. So that makes you even more popular. That makes you here. Like he's not like cut of the mill. He's not your like very standard. I mean, he's where does the hairstyles, he has the tat. He lives a life. So he has a very rock star lifestyle, and judging by the WhatsApp. So he can. So you know what it is over there. Like he's gonna bring you around different crowds. You saw him playing, hanging out, watching a game with Jamie Foxx or something like that. I'm like, this guy is literally like is a star. Like I don't see Mbappe chilling with Jamie Foxx watching a Kansas City Chiefs football game. Like that's not happening, dude.
Ever. It's never gonna happen.
He's not playing. Neymar was that one where the first one out there playing keep ups of Justin Bieber. Dog. The dude's a megastar.
Mbappe is like the first one like at practice. Like,
yeah, he's the first one at practice. Oh, it's cute during the Independence and Pride Week of France. He wears blue hair. Cool, man. This dude Neymar's had it all. He's done all the hair, everything, man. It's all there.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so I feel like you gotta like run kind of, but the episode.
No,
okay, well the episode's basically over anyway, so I don't want to talk about Xabi Alonso actually. But anyway, yeah. Tune in. We're gonna do this incel thing because I'm gonna go hard on this, and we're gonna talk about incel culture and football. It's gonna be good, and it's gonna be fire. But that'll be a special episode because you know what I'm saying. We got episode 200's coming up, and the 4-year anniversary of We Made a Podcast is coming up.
4 years. This show's about to start going to school soon.
A whole presidential term.
We served the whole term. And we're going up for re-election, baby. That's what's going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going.
You dig? Anyway, episode 195. We Made a Podcast. Subscribe. Oh, damn. I should have said We Made a Season.
Follow your boy. We Made a Season on Twitch. You know, part of We Made a Podcast is on there. We do run pro clubs on there. It is stressful, but as I've seen in chat, and I always watch it back, it is a good time. You might hear some REM. You never know what the deal is. You might see me upset. Yeah, we be on there. Please come check it out. Follow your boy. On the road to 400. We're like 12 or something subs away, I think. Maybe 12 or 30. I can't remember. But, yeah, we're almost there to 400. Let's get it cracking.
What about, as Bass said at that gas station, what about your boy?
And also, big ups. I heard some more people have been taking in orders for FCK self-doubt, fuck self-doubt. Please go check it out, .com.
Well, you heard wrong. Anyway, also, it is not stressful playing pro club. Caesar's a crazy person. It's stressful for him. I'm having a good time regardless.
I'm having a good time being stressed.
This fool right here.
I'm an emotional person.
Okay, well, see you later. All right, holla at your boy. We Made a Podcast. Cheer.